So what I have seen based on my experience with BatchMaster from past 13 years, the most successful implementation have in common is they have their clear business objectives defined in the processes, the executive sponsorship, like the team executive team which is involved during the implementation process is really important. They have the dedicated customer support team so that each department has their own SMEs who's responsible for the business processes, any roadblocks, or any decisions they need to take to move forward with the implementation process. Along with all these 3 points, the main important point is the process improvement mindset. I have seen the failures in implementations where they try to replicate what they have been doing in the legacy system. So, the improvement mindset is really important throughout the implementation process. And most importantly, the ERP implementation is the business transformation. It is not an IT project. So, if it is considered as a business transformation, the project is in itself is a successful project. So, the mistakes or delays or frustrations we say causing an implementation is if in during the discovery phase the requirements are unclear. So if the requirements are unclear, it will cause delays and mistakes during the whole implementation cycle of the project. If requirement is unclear, it will cause delays in the decisions as well. So if the decisions are delayed, it will cause the lack of customer ownership, right? So we talked about the unclear requirements, we talked about the delayed decisions, we talked about lack of customer ownership. After that, if we have a poor quality of data along with too many customizations involved during the whole implementation cycle, will also cause delay and frustration during the whole ERP implementation. So before kicking off any ERP project, customer should clearly define what are the criteria that they want to accomplish after doing implementation of an ERP software. When I say that, I mean they should have a proper project owner, like there should be a proper project sponsor who will be taking care of everything starting from the project discovery to the project go live phase of the project. There should be a SMEs identified for each department who would be responsible for learning the product, providing the quality master data, and training the end users. Along with that, at the time of kickoff, there should be a review of their current business processes. When I say that the current business processes, I mean they should have a process flows set of what they're doing in the legacy system right now and how they will map the same process in the new ERP system. So, the executive involvement is really important during the whole implementation cycle because it removes the roadblocks. So, if any decision is pending from the executive point of view, like they need to move forward with any customization or the requirement can be fulfilled through a standard workflow that we are showcasing to the customer. So, at that point, the executive involvement is really necessary. Second, it drives the accountability of the SMEs. So, if the executive team is involved in the implementation cycle, the people are more accountable on the customer side. Now, once the accountability is done, all the departments are also aligned together when the executive team is involved in that. So, basically, what I have seen for the successful implementations, what all things customers are undercompensating are cleaning of their legacy master data, user trainings, change management, and the internal resources commitment. So these are the four main points which customers are undercompensating during the whole implementation cycle. Now, what they are overcompensating is if during the discovery phase or during the whole implementation cycle, if we encounter multiple customization requests, It means that something is going wrong and they're trying to overcompensating the product itself. Second, if they're trying to replicate their legacy system with the new system, like if they're using any Excel spreadsheets or any old ERP system, they're trying to replicate all those business processes that they have already set. They're trying to replicate those processes in the new ERP system. It will overcompensate the product itself. And third, if they try to over document their processes, like a simple SOP should be fine for creating a process document. But if they try to create over document all those processes, it will overcompensate their process. Of course, the discrete manufacturing implementation differ from process manufacturing implementations in terms of where discrete manufacturing only refers to bills of materials, routings, work orders, and it is more focused on the assemblies. Whereas if we talk about the process manufacturing, it is mainly focused on formulas, recipes, batch production, lot traceability, quality management, shelf life, and regulatory compliance. So there is a huge difference between discrete manufacturing and the process manufacturing.